the hell? What? Go who? Go who?
Go now.
We are live.
It's a Dick Goblin voice, if I ever heard one.
I'm so fucked up right now.
Well, this is going to be a wild one.
I have been going since noon, y'all.
Super Bowl Sunday. Come on.
Well, that, and it's just, it's just been one of those weeks for me, so I'm like, fuck it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
It's a lot like when my dad died. You know, just saying, fuck it.
It's just a wild
That,
start
welcome
to
to
the
episode
stream.
101 of No Bucks Given.
Jesus.
I can't recover.
I went
this
through
intro
like
at this
every
point.
emotion in 10 seconds. I'm so fucked up right now. It's been a wild ride, and it's like super depressing.
Dude. Hey, I've had a good night, man. This is
Oh man, I'm crying.
this was great. It was great.
Oh man,
Googly moogly.
you took me on a fucking. It wasn't even a roller coaster. This is a bungee jump without the cord.
I'm sorry.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
god. I can't. I got nothing, man.
No.
We're
I have
live.
no way to
We're here
recover from that.
tonight. We're the Super Bowl happened. Everybody
Yeah.
watched it. I didn't. Well, not everybody, I guess. I saw some of it.
I have fun during the Super Bowl. I thought I would fucking hate it. It's actually I enjoyed it. The first quarter was a little bit fucking long.
I worked
I'm like,
during
oh my
90%
God.
of it.
See, I like these kinds of games though. I have nobody in the race, so I'm my yes, I can get animated, but I don't get as animated when my team isn't involved at all. Or hers. Because now she's got me fucking every time Baltimore plays, I talk up Baltimore like they're the fucking greatest thing since Wonder Bread. And then Lamar Jackson ejaculates
Well, they
all over
win.
himself. And then
What?
they lose. No, they lost. They lose. And then in situations like this, they lose. And then it is what it is. But this was fun for me. I enjoyed
And
this
they
Super
lose.
Bowl. Tim, I was doing the stream on my other channel today. He literally told me they showed her 7 times. I'm like, and I said, why are you doing that? He goes, because I'm sick and tired of her. So you're gonna give her more attention by hitting the time that I should got a fucking thing for him.
You mentioned at the beginning of the game if he wanted if we wanted him to do a count of how many times.
He did do it. It's 7 fucking times throughout the whole game, and I see Taylor Swift popping up. I don't care that she's there and that they show her, just not in the middle of a game. And
She should
really
play
good
in the
job.
game.
She was shown that much that she could have. You
She
just
should
were not
play in the
much.
game, and the first time she gets hit, every bone in her body would dislocate.
Shatter. Yeah.
I don't think she's a horrible person.
I don't know anything about her except for the fact that everybody
Yeah.
is super in love with this person.
Trouble.
She's not as. I mean, I'm sick of it. This guy. I get it. People
Stick
don't
to your
care
lane,
for it.
Taylor
I
Swift.
understand that. I can understand that. I mean, when they started doing it, they were focusing like they would cut right in the middle of a fucking play. They would cut to her.
I think people
Like,
are
we don't care.
frustrated because it's taking
We
over
showed her.
the sport. It's not taking over.
What they would
In what
would
world
do-
is she sharing the limelight with the actual Super Bowl? Unless she's performing there,
Exactly.
it's weird. Okay, it's like at a Taylor Swift concert, all of a sudden a football game breaks out.
They're just playing catch.
So to finish what I was gonna say, motherfucker.
No, don't start. You do it to us all the fucking time.
I know, but anyway, so
He's fat!
they would show her, and then they would show her again, and they'd show her in between each play, and they would miss something. People, it's just you would miss something that's happening, and then they cut to fucking Taylor Swift. They didn't do that tonight. They only cut
Money,
to her.
baby. That's what it is.
Well, they stopped doing that in the playoffs. They only showed her a couple of times.
She wasn't there for one.
Well, I mean, Heather brought up a fun fact where like they showed her more than they showed his actual blood family, not his girlfriend. And one of his brother is a fucking player.
Jason Kelsey, his brother, showed up in a fucking dandy of a fucking suit.
He showed up dressed as Zach Galifianakis.
It was beautiful.
Why
From The Hangover.
Jason Kelsey is probably the greatest. That guy's great. He's just what he did. The way he's been acting, like he's got an acting career. I'm not gonna fucking lie. That guy's gonna be an actor. You just wait, because he's been in fucking commercials and he's pretty fucking good at it.
Seems like he's got a good funny bone.
He literally is the embodiment of Zach if he played football.
Like okay, so I don't want to talk about Taylor Swift too much, but I'm just gonna say I don't know her. I know nothing about her. I've heard like one of her songs, except apparently she's made like 5,000 of them. Maybe I heard them, maybe I didn't. I don't really care for her music. I don't really need to know more about her, and that's how I feel. She might be a fucking saint, but I don't really care.
And Bodo, to answer your question, I'm there to watch a football game. I don't care if Taylor's there. Simone Biles is more important to athletics to begin with because she is an Olympian and she's married to a Green Bay Packer fan and they barely show her.
I don't think. Again, I don't hate that they show her. My point is don't show her as something is happening. You can do all of the cutaways.
They're doing like reaction videos with her face.
Yeah, but now they cut it away. If they just as long as they don't show her, like, and they would do that. They would show her, and then they would start playing. It's let's get a quick look at Taylor Swift before we go back to the fucking play.
I always have this like the thing that I'll always have like no matter what with people that are always on like The Rock and I'm sure like Taylor Swift, there is something odd to me about someone that is always on. Like when I say on, like always kind of knows they're in the spotlight, always kind of in that entertainment sphere. They're always, I don't want to say acting, but I kind of want to say acting. I don't know what else really to call it, but it's like when are you ever yourself?
On top of that, she's supposedly this huge environmentalist, but yet she has no problem jumping in a private jet and flying it anywhere.
Didn't she actually sell some of them because people were bitching about?
Well, I heard that like they were talking about carbon footprints, and hers was like the highest, just because she's such a popular artist that has to get around all over the world, and she needs to take a private jet to do so. And people will be like, well, she could, well, she might not, but I don't know. At the same time, like when people become so popular, and she is like disgustingly popular, where I'm pretty sure like first class or not. There would be a lineup and people would be buying tickets on the plane just to be on the plane with her, regardless of where it's going, which is fucked up.
100% agree with you. This era's for this generation's Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson, that's exactly, he was bigger.
Yeah, she's like a titan of industry, man. She's massive in the music world.
It's right now they're treating Taylor Swift like she is the industry.
She's the face of the company, is what she is, of the music industry. Yeah. She's the Roman Reigns of the music industry.
Acknowledge her.
Acknowledge her. Or be obliterated.
Now imagine her showing up on Monday Night Raw.
I put that picture in the fucking chat.
She gets it. She walks.
She's the head of the table. It's actually revealed later on.
She goes, acknowledge me, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on?" That would be great.
But yeah, that's kind of like I guess the vibe people have, and I get a lot of people are like really passionate about sports, so it's like people get frustrated when they see two industries meld together. Hey, look at wrestling for instance. People fucking hate celebrity encounters most of the time.
I will.
Yeah.
I will tell you. Football has been doing that forever. Football has been doing celebrity mixing for years now. They have celebrities every year on the fucking Super Bowl. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean the Super Bowl.
And I understand.
Well, they'll give them fucking 45 minutes to skate around in the middle of the fucking stadium.
If Taylor Swift wasn't such a big thing, they would then, because they did it for one segment where they said, "Oh, Jay-Z's here. Oh, there this guy is. Oh, there this guy is." They didn't
Before
do
the
it
game started.
See, I'm okay with that because like any sport will be like, oh look, sitting courtside or sitting here is this celebrity, but they won't feature them
well on it.
Yeah, it'll be like they'll show in the first for basketball, show in the first half, fucking Jack Nicholson sitting in the front row, and that'll be that, right. And you'll never see him again. Or if you see him interact with one of the players, which does happen. Drake tried to fucking become part of the Raptors team.
I remember that.
Thank God that shit ended.
Spike Lee was the New York Giants. He'd be the coach on the other side of the court, fucking walking up and down the court, yelling at fucking players. If I was fucking Reggie Miller, I would have just fucking hauled off and threw the fucking basketball at his face.
It's like Spike Lee is like he's a turtle of a man. Come on.
He is a good director.
Hey, he's okay. He's very hit and miss for me. He's made as many shitty things as he's made okay things. I never really think I loved any of his movies. He just kind of seems like a cunt when he talks.
I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna
that's how I stand
not
on him.
wrong on that one.
He's very opinionated is what he is.
He's been around since the Michael Jordan fucking commercials. That's when I found out about him. That's how old I am. Sorry.
You good there, JP?
Mm-hmm.
You got the vid? You got the vid?
No.
No, not the vid.
I got to get the fuck up. Oh,
but I was working through most of the Super Bowl, so I only saw I honestly saw like 10 minutes of it. It seemed like a decent game. It was 13-10 when I was watching it for a little bit. So I'm like, okay, it's pretty solid.
That was like the fourth quarter. And that's when
it was. I believe the fourth quarter was just about to start.
The first quarter ended, I think, 3-0. I think San Francisco may have kicked a field goal. And then the second quarter, San Francisco was actually up 10. They scored the first 10 points of the game. And then Kansas City kicked a field goal at halftime. There wasn't much going on in the first half. It was kind of like both teams. It was kind of a weird.
So like feeling each other out or something.
Neither team could really move the ball very well.
Yeah, it was the defenses. They were just doing a really good job.
Do you also think nerves come into play for some of these teams?
I'm sure. Oh well, but for all of them. But the first quarter, I've seen first quarters where they're just fucking going. Like the Packers when they won their Super Bowls, his first drive, they're just fine. I think this was a lot of it was the defense because both these teams have been here now. Brock Purdy wasn't there at that time, but most of the players that they have were rookies or second or third year players. So they have one guy has literally not been there the last time they were in the Super Bowl. So. Not that I can think of, or I think he may have actually been the only one that started that did not have any Super Bowl experience. It was his first Super Bowl. So the nerves, yeah, they're there, but I don't think they're there as much as they should have been. That was just defenses being really good. So the halftime ended up being 10-3. I'm just going to say it now. The halftime show wasn't bad. It was actually pretty entertaining.
Who was it?
was
Usher,
Usher.
Ludacris, Alicia Keys,
Yeah,
and CeeLo Green, I think.
I didn't mind it.
See, I don't
love
mind CeeLo Green. I think Alicia Keys is pretty talented. Usher, I could take or leave. Actually,
Honestly-
I could leave Usher. Is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Honestly,
bathroom break.
if Alicia Keys always sounds like she did here tonight on the Super Bowl live, I'd be asking my money back at her concert.
She was supposed to be a very good live
Ooh.
performer, so I'm kind of surprised. But you know what?
Oh.
The stadium isn't really meant for acoustics like that. It always
Right.
sounds worse in the Super Bowl.
So we didn't actually. So I was sitting here and I'm watching this, and I'm just going to turn it on. So we actually took a break in between our show. So at halftime we took a break, but we ended up. So we thought.
What?
So they did that Usher, that halftime stuff. That's the kind of music that I would go in the dance club to and do. I would try to dance like that. Usher doesn't know how to fucking walk. He didn't walk anywhere. He danced to his next spot.
Yeah, I know, because that's what he before he was a singer, he was a fucking dancer.
I
So
know,
that's
but it was funny watching him. I'm like,
Also, isn't Usher like fucking 57 years old or something? Like
he's a little
still
bit
doing
younger
it.
than-
Yep.
He's a little bit younger than me.
And he
That's
looked.
good
Honestly, he's got to be eating fetuses because him and he was a dancer for Jennifer Lopez, wasn't he? I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's what I thought. And
Actually,
both
no,
of them,
Jennifer debuted after he did.
I feel like they're both eating fetuses together because there's got to be something going on to keep these people fucking 10 years old forever.
Yeah, he does. He. I'm not gonna sit here and oogle over the guy, but he looked pretty.
For his age,
Yes,
he looks
yeah.
like he's 30 years old,
45.
and he looks like he's 30.
JP made it look like
Go ahead.
JP made it look like he was about to say like, yeah, no, yeah, he doesn't need to eat those fetuses anyway.
No, he doesn't. I knew he was
He
younger.
was
than
born
me.
in October too.
Well,
S-
goddamn.
fucking
I
munching
didn't
on
mind-
dead babies.
I enjoyed it. It just was funny watching him because he does that kind of dancing where it looks like he's not even moving, but his legs are walking. It's fucking great. It was like, you ever
That's a new
seen
one.
that commercial
Crazy legs.
where the dude's doing the fucking dance and the upper body's fucking walking along?
It just reminds me of the guy in the
That's what he's
wheelchair
doing.
and Don't Be a Menace at South Central.
It's like the bottom half of his
His legs
body
just
is
flapping
I know what you're
around.
talking about.
Yeah, it looks like half of his body isn't attached to the rest of his body. It's great. I think it's fucking funny. But he didn't walk or run or how sometimes he did roller skate dance though.
Well, I mean, we had Rihanna where she
Yeah,
didn't move at all. She
Well,
just
she's
got well, she can still move somewhere.
Yeah,
Off the
rolling
stage.
roly-poly,
Get off the
motherfucker.
fucking stage.
No, but there was a part at the end of the live performance for Usher that he's tried to turn on the skate and nearly face planted.
There's one thing that I find with like music where there was a change in music when things became more about the performance than the actual music being played.
Yeah.
Like where it was like, oh, you need to do like fucking 18 cartwheels to make this song sound good. Like the era of like dance music that's kind of taken over, and it's like club music or house music or whatever the fucking music is that now, like Rihanna and all that shit. It's the music for me. Not my cup of tea. But like it's I mean, I'd much rather see fucking any band from the fucking 80s perform. Or 90s, for that matter. Except for Usher.
Yeah.
Like, you get fucking Live Aid in that bitch, I'd be there.
So I can't see the chat right now. Our computer.
So
Boto says it was a fun game. It started off a little slow, but it got going great. Second half, Brock Purdy has nothing to be embarrassed about. That was the last chat.
yo,
Okay.
all pundits who sat there and gobbled his fucking cock like he was the next fucking
go ahead.
Peyton Manning need to apologize.
He's pretty good. I'm sure everybody under the fucking sun has made that joke.
They have, and I'm one of them. So I can't stand him. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I'm not gonna fucking lie. He's carried by the people that are surrounded.
Hey, but
So
you know what? If
imagine-
you make a system that works for the quarterback,
I want everybody to put this in perspective. This is why I'm saying this. Imagine if Tom Brady was the quarterback of that offense. I guarantee you, San Francisco would not have lost that game.
but does that offense work with Tom Brady?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just superstars. If he can get the superstars to fucking build,
I mean, usually, like, you can go two ways. If you have a young quarterback, the way I would assume is you have a young quarterback, you can work him into the system that already exists there. But if you have an older quarterback that excels in certain things, you got to build the team around him, kind of, or the system around him.
The 49ers system is very similar to the Patriots system.
They think they found the next coming of Tom Brady. Well, the next coming of Tom Brady just beat Brock Purdy tonight. Just gonna say. I'm telling you right fucking now.
Patrick Mahomes is, you can't really deny that he's fucking good.
He will be greater than Tom Brady was.
Unless you get injured.
I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, because
right
he started excelling a lot sooner than Brady did.
He is going to take it to a next level thing. He did it tonight. So if everybody knows, and I know this is his third or fourth Super Bowl, third Super Bowl that he's won, right?
Yes.
Remember his first Super Bowl, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, where he took the team on a. Now I want everybody to think about this. Tom Brady drove his team down. Score was 17-17, right?
Mm-hmm.
He dinked and dunked.
Dinked.
It's a football term. It has to do with
kissing young boys.
So he would throw short to intermediate passes, 5 to 15 yards, and would just, that's all he had to do. And then they kick a field goal to win the game. Patrick Mahomes, and he did it with under 2 minutes to go. With Patrick Mahomes, he did that in the fourth quarter to tie the game, right? Hear me out. He did that. Now, Tom Brady did win a Super Bowl, overtime Super Bowl, but think about this. It's still not as great because the other team didn't get the ball. My point being, Patrick Mahomes went into overtime. They allowed a field goal, right? So they're losing in overtime. Okay? And keep in mind, they tied the game to end this, to get it to that point, right? He then comes out. San Francisco gets the ball, drives right down the field. Defense bows up, kick a field goal. It's now 22-16. San Francisco has to kick off to Kansas City. Now, keep in mind, they don't get to kick a field goal to tie the game.
They have to score.
Right? They have to, well, they do, but they have to score. And then it'll just go back and forth. It's automatically, after that, it is sudden death. So the game ends immediately. It doesn't continue. I think Patrick Mahomes took that Tom Brady finish to a whole nother level tonight. Because they didn't have to. They could have just run the ball and kicked a field goal. They went for the gun. They went for it on fourth down a couple of times. They didn't fuck around.
Now, do you think
that's really Patrick Mahomes is going to end up being the greatest quarterback of my time?
But do you think that, and I mean, this is like how it goes with like great players. You need that supporting cast. So if that ever falls away,
this is where I'm going to say this. Now I know we're talking. He doesn't have a superstar on his team except for Travis Kelce. He lost all of the guys that he had. He lost If I can tell you right now, the 2000 they had Tyreek Hill, who is just apparently the greatest receiver of all time. So they had the same kind of fucking offense, Kansas City. They don't anymore. This is what makes Patrick Mahomes that much better. Yes, you need that number one elite guy, but that number one elite guy is their fucking tight end.
But do you think that what they have done is they have like an accurate idea of the type of player they have with Mahomes? And do you see like with the team that they have and the team that they're building towards having for the future, they've kind of set, because the way I look at it is like, have you set things in place to, even if they're there now, to continue to be there for him moving forward?
No.
See, that might be the downfall for like championships. If they don't continue to like build youth towards what they have with him.
Right. If not right now. That's not to say that those guys won't. Like I said this.
Well, now they're a favorable team to go to because you fucking
who doesn't? They if you're an elite receiver, you want to go play in Kansas City right now. And if you haven't won a Super Bowl, you want to go to Kansas City, and you want to do everything with Tom Brady. And there's
but I also feel like it's
I can name that may happen.
It's a combination of like growing that talent and having that talent come up and acquiring that talent. You can't just go and fucking pick and choose a bunch of superstars. And
San Francisco has that. They've done the exact opposite. They've bought everything. Christian McCaffrey is not a homegrown talent.
No, he's a trade.
I find when you buy everything, you can make it work for a year or two, maybe 3 if you're lucky. After that, you're kind of fucked. Because if it doesn't keep working...
Those teams, I'm glad lose games like that. Like the Yankees. When
the Yankees are like that, yeah. But the Celtics were like that.
Because they go out and spend $155 million on one fucking player.
And they still can't get no.
Well, in basketball, there's that era of the big three where every team was buying the big three to compete. And those teams, they did win 1 or 2. After that, they had to dissolve them because you can't. If all your salary is in 3 players, how are you bringing in anybody of any value, right? So like that's the big thing, and I mean the Clippers are like that today. So I feel like with all sports, it kind of follows the same idea. If you buy your team, you're buying your team for success short term. If you make good acquisitions and have like a good building ground for young players, especially if you have like a system and a player that you want to build your franchise with for the next 10 years or whatever, then you can kind of work with that. I do feel like the one thing that, and I'm going to ask you this question, their change in like offensive schemes and the way that they played, do you think it's actually why they won?
Say that one more time.
So you said that Kansas City has played different since the last time they won.
Yeah, they don't have the superstars around them.
So it forced them to change. They forced them to change how they play in their offensive and defensive schemes. That like usually when a team wins, every team aspires to beat whatever schemes that they're playing. So them changing them, do you think that is one of the reasons they won again?
No,
because they've played the whole year with this scheme.
They haven't changed anything.
Well, you said that like the superstars change was forced them to change the way they play.
No, they still play pretty much the same way. They run the ball a little bit more. They're playing better defense than they did.
But okay, so I guess the question is,
they did more on. So,
do you think if they continue to play the same, because when you win a championship, every team is there to beat you, and they divide. And this is like it changes the way teams are built. It changes the way teams are like running offense and defense. So people will actually like mold their team to beat the current champion.
That is correct.
But that necessarily hasn't happened yet for
I will
them.
tell you this. So I will give an example, and this is a really good example. So I'm a Packer fan, right? Randy Moss came into the league, and he made Green Bay look fucking foolish. I mean, really bad foolish, right? What does Green Bay go out and do? They go out and they get a cornerback. The very next year, they didn't so much shut Randy Moss down, but he didn't fucking go off like he did in that one game. So, yes, you are correct. But Patrick Mahomes, and once he build a relation, all he's got to do is build a relationship with another receiver, and he did.
But that's like where it comes down to it.
So it's not. So to answer your question, no. I think that they are where they want to be. They didn't change anything. They've always been where they are.
So next year, if they want to do a repeat, right?
Keep doing what you're doing.
They don't need to change anything. Is what you're saying?
No.
I think me personally, I would say yes. No,
Well,
something small. But something where it's like another option.
But see, they get draft picks too. It's not just.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, if you have the same team from this year to next year,
you won't though.
I think your chance of winning goes down.
I mean, Kansas City struggled this year. I think they will continue to get better. They will go out and get okay. So what did we do well this year? Well, they looked really good on fucking defense. They looked really good on offense. Let's go out and get a really good offensive player because we have a really good defense.
Yeah, just add like one more tool
so just
to the
keep adding to your
block.
toolkit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's kind of what I'm going with.
So that's what Green Bay has done.
Yeah, not change the way you play, but give another option that other contending teams have to consider, right?
You can do that through the draft, or you can.
I think it's easier to do immediately with traded players than it is through a draft. The draft takes a while to get like a player into something than somebody that exists already.
That depends.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Because with the Ravens, they drafted Zay Flowers and played him this year, and he was this close to getting Rookie of the Year.
He looked like.
Well, I mean, if he's like, if somebody's that good, yes.
The Rookie of the Year and the offensive Rookie of the Year and the defensive Rookie of the Year this year look like they've been in the league for years.
From my experience with sport, is you can get a rookie that is game ready, but you can't get a rookie that has played a season in the NFL, which is a different thing. It's not the same as moving from one.
I get it, but you can't. CJ Stroud should have been if he would have been on a better team. If Houston would have fucking won the Super Bowl this year, I think CJ Stroud, or if they were as good as what Kansas City or even Baltimore was, I would then give the trophy goes to fucking CJ Stroud. Hands down. He's that fucking good. So
well, I mean, like I'm looking at. I'm gonna always compare it to basketball because that's what I know. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama comes in. He's actually fucking insanely good. And if he went to a team that wasn't already good, he would be a champion. He wouldn't be a detriment to the team. But the problem usually I find with that, and it's different for basketball and football because there's so many players and everybody is more concerned with where they need to be. Like the role is more important in football than it is in basketball.
Yeah. Or
it's more specific. But I find like there's always going to be that rookie. There's always going to be an era of rookie mistakes or a place where you can't fully trust that rookie.
I will tell you this right now. You could say that for some of the veterans that are playing the game.
Yeah. But the way I look at it is like when basketball, if you have a championship team, right, you're not going to go out and look to add a person that's going to be a primary piece of your offense or defense or your team that is going to be a 19-year-old rookie. If a 19-year-old gets added to a championship team, they aren't playing very much. I can tell you that right now. They'll look to add somebody that fits that offensive scheme that people know what to expect from them. And
I
it's weird
understand.
because I guess like when it comes to basketball drafts, yes, you can get like a guy that's 25th and turns out to be an all-star, but he ain't fucking close to an all-star the day he starts playing.
I don't disagree with you. Football, you have to play in college for at least 3 years. You can't just come out of the draft.
Yeah, they had
So
it
they're
like
pretty 21,
I have a
22-year-old
feeling
kids.
because football in America is so coveted and college football is not like it's I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's as huge of difference as basketball in college in the NCAA versus NBA.
Mhm.
NCAA versus NBA is like a world of difference for players.
It is.
Where I don't know if it's the same because I think there's such like popularity in college football.
Well, it really doesn't have much to do with the popularity. I mean, there are some rules that are different from college to the NFL.
You ever watched a college basketball game?
I have. It's not. They're actually entertaining, but they're not. It's different. They are not NBA games, and there is like a very obvious difference.
You got to remember. I hear you, but you have to remember that you're watching guys that are. There's a lot of walk-ons in basketball.
Like what I'm
That's all
saying is
That's all there is to it.
like I'm just
Go
looking at the transition between college versus the real like the main league.
It's still a superstar-driven league or affiliation. NCAA is. I'm telling you, it's still a superstar.
Oh yeah, no, I get like.
So they go out and they get one guy, and this is when you'll know that this guy is just there to showcase how good he is. Like they'll get a bunch of fucking walk-ons and not one fucking guy, and the story will be about the 4 walk-ons, and then they'll really focus on the guy that they really went after. Some teams do that, and so that's the way, and those end up being the really good teams, to be honest with you.
I just would like to, if I knew a lot about football or just the NFL and college football in general.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to like analyze the difference between college football and the NFL versus college basketball and the NBA, because I know in the NBA the difference. It doesn't seem vast, but it's fucking vast.
So are you talking about
in terms of like
speed of the game?
All of it, the entire the how good the players are, the speed of the game, what is expected of players. I'm just wondering if the transition might be a bit easier in college football because America covets college football so much.
College football is a lot slower than the NFL. I'm gonna tell you, it's way slower. So it's the same dynamic. It's not as fast, but it's still pretty fast.
Would you say it's comparable to NCAA basketball versus NBA? And if you were to compare the
it's a parallel. That's what I meant.
I was just wondering.
It's a parallel to it.
Alpha
NBA
had a question for you, JP.
Did you?
Alpha did. He said, curious question. Besides Green Bay, do you know any other NFL teams that mostly build through the draft rather than free agency?
Well, Green Bay does. They do. They don't spend a ton on free agents. Like they won't go out and they'll do it for filler that they can't get in the draft. Whatever. They might go out and get a mid-level.
Do you know any other team that does that though?
I'm working on it. Baltimore does it.
Yep.
Even though they have gone out and gotten free agents, however, they did one of the teams. They'll build a fucking free agent. Like if they get a free agent, they actually build a team fucking around the guy. So it's not just fucking going out and getting a bunch of superstars, which is what San Francisco does. But yeah, Baltimore does it. I can't say Denver. They traded for Russell Wilson.
Well, it's because Denver needs to get better now, and they need the veteran players over the rookie players.
Well, they were fine where they were. They just had to get the coach. So Sean Payton is the coach in Denver now. So they don't need Russell Wilson, but Detroit does it. But it took them 50 years to fucking build a team.
Yeah.
Jacksonville does it. Pittsburgh does it. There's like half the league does they do it through the draft. So
I always appreciate a team that is more about building from the roots up. They still might acquire an all-star, but building from the roots up is important. You have to.
That's how Green Bay.
I think that's how like long-term champions are born, not
correct. So
a year
Green
or two.
Bay, here goes my sports history on me. When they did Green Bay did it with Reggie White. They went out. They traded their first round pick for the next year for Brett Favre, who was drafted in the second round, and they got other players with it, and a whatever round pick for it. But Green Bay went all in with Brett Favre. They went out and got Reggie White. Reggie White was the biggest free agent at that time, and when he came to Green Bay, they caught fire. It's like Reggie White said, any free agent can play here. It's football. It is what it is. Just because it's fucking cold in the middle of fucking December doesn't mean you can't come here and play football. And you walk into that stadium, if you've ever been to fucking Lambeau Field, it's like for me, when I went there, it tingled. I just got all tingly and it was really...
And then I fell on the ground.
It was really
started foaming.
weird. It has that aura to it. What I'm trying to say is it has that.
I don't want to say anything, but yeah.
Have you ever been to an event where you just feel that?
I feel like the okay. So going to an event, especially that's someone that's going to be in the stands and stuff, it always has, for me, most of the time, not always, most of the time you have that feeling of excitement because I think you're just sharing in everyone else's experience, the atmosphere.
What tingled for you?
Everything.
But it's that feeling of it's hard to explain. It's like a ghostly aura, kind of like type thing. It's really weird. It's not because it's a very historic place. So they built that, and that's how Green Bay did that. Is they went out and got a superstar, and they built a team. They used the draft. They went and used the team. And I know that's what they did but they've done it like 5 times to build this team, and then they lose the Super Bowl.
It's so astounding.
To me.
It's so astounding to me when people talk sports, because what they're really talking about a lot of the time, if they're not talking about the play-by-play stuff, is business. And it's the exact same fucking conversation. And a lot of people will be like, oh, this player is this player is that, this coach is this coach is that. You want to talk about teams that do the buying players and trying to have like short-term victories, or like, we're going to have a good run for like 2 years, 3 years. That is, your CEO that comes in that makes these decisions to be like, we're a hot market team, or we're going to I'm going to bleed them dry and then I'm going to move on. It's the exact same fucking thing. I remember working for a company, a massive company here in Canada, where it's like, when it comes down to it, I was there between a transition between one CEO to the next, then to the next. This guy came in and did the exact same thing. He actually elevated, not the product or anything. He actually changed the business for the worst, but he made the most money, and then he fucking dipped.
So the story of Green Bay, and I don't want to get too much into the history of it, because I really am gonna fucking do this over on my channel. We'll
probably talk for football for this little bit more, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on, because there's other news that I'm excited. It's been a fucking fun week for me. Well, except for Thursday, but as far as newsworthy, this has been a fun week for me. But I think personally, the NFL I don't think Kansas City is going to be fine no matter what they do. They just keep adding pieces. But San Francisco, man, you lost your chance. Now what are you going to do? And the window is closing because they aren't going to be able to re-sign everybody. Better do it this year or next year. But I'm starting to think there's some players on that team that don't want to be there anymore. They just can't. They should have fucking won this game by like 40 points tonight. That's how good that roster is in San Francisco.
Well, when you only target your fucking star guy in George Kittle once.
They got to him a couple of times, but it wasn't very good game plan by Kyle Shanahan. I think he's the problem.
Yeah.
Personally. But that's neither here nor there. It was a great game. I enjoyed the fucking shit out of it. That's all I can say. One of the better games I've seen because I'm not invested in it. I don't have a team in it. I enjoyed the game, personally.
I saw a little bit of it, and it seemed like an interesting football game.
It was a really good game. I'd watch it.
I would have watched the whole thing if it wasn't fucking working.
Yeah, it was really good. But I want to move on to other things. Yeah, such as life. We got to move on.
All right, so I'm glad everybody had a good Super Bowl. I think Connor might be in space, so we'll move forward with this.
we need to lure him back in with some wrestling talk.
We are. So let's start off.
I really need
with. Okay, we're not going to talk about. First of all, I don't want to. I'm going to leave off Cody, Rock, and Roman till right after. Let's see, because this will be a bit quicker. We'll move through this a bit faster. Let's talk about because Trek kind of shared this information too. Vince McMahon is slowly getting removed from everything network oriented or anything on by the website or anything else. Where do you guys? This is my question to you guys. Where do you where do you draw the line on what you remove with somebody, depending on the acts you do? And we can relate this to Chris Benoit.
I don't think they need to remove anything from anywhere, personally.
Because
it's a part of history.
Without Vince McMahon being mentioned, you are erasing all of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Well, not all.
So, I mean, people could have the same exact argument with Chris Benoit because not that you're erasing the 70s. Yeah, and this is kind of where I stand, too. I'm like, I don't think Chris Benoit matches should be non-viewable to people. And in all honesty, like, so he did something fucking irrehensible, right?
Yes.
But that's what he did in the ring is also what he did with somebody else in the ring, and is also integral to this overall storyline in wrestling and things like that. So I would suggest, leave certain things in a category and leave other things in a different category when it comes to like what you're gonna erase from history or not show. We're not gonna promote Chris Benoit, but you're not gonna fucking get rid of everything he's ever done, like trying to erase him from history. And this is the statues thing all over again.
The thing that sucks is if you were gonna ever put Vince McMahon in the Hall of Fame, it'd kill WWE. I don't think they'll do it, but everybody knows, and I don't think Vince ever wanted to be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
He doesn't need to be. He is the WWE. So that's my thoughts on it. Personally, I don't. Connor, I like to get Connor's thoughts on this shit. Personally,
unlike the idea of them like just basically doing the Benoit thing with Vince.
Yeah, so which they eliminated him from everything.
But you can't.
Yeah,
he's too integral to the product to disappear.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay, and I just need to preface this beforehand. I'm obviously, the Benoit tragedy in this is like apples to oranges in a lot of cases, right? In terms of like the weight of what they did. Yeah, so it just neither here nor there, but just anyway. So I'm just talking in terms of like impact this is going to have in terms of if they go this route. The Benoit one, it was a PR move because of Linda, more than anything else. Because I think Linda was running at that time, or getting ready to run, or something like that. So it was more.
She was about to become part of Trump's cabinet.
That bitch was in a wheelchair. She ain't running nowhere.
Wheeling or whatever. Wheels go.
Anyway.
So now it is trickier. It's obviously a lot trickier when it's literally, not just behind the scenes, but like, I mean, you can't really do much or see much that doesn't have Vince's imprint on it in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I think there's a fundamental difference between like promoting match. Like there's a difference between like completely erasing the stuff, right, and like not making it viewable, not advertising it, but making it available, and like pushing it out.
Yes.
Okay, so when you say you don't want to see a Chris Benoit match,
He doesn't want to see them being not viewable.
Yes.
so you want to see? Yes. That's what I'm getting at. I don't advertise him. Fine.
Correct. Yep.
I get all of that stuff, like at the beginning, the then now together forever thing. Got it. Like I don't even pay attention to that, to be honest with you. I want to see, because he's an integral part of what is happening in the middle of that show.
Yeah.
It's all one big compilation. And yeah, WWE's gotten away from that. But that's what made WWE so good. WWE is mind-blowing right now.
Yeah.
There's one thing I'll say, and I'm pretty heavily convinced. You want to fucking open skeletons in the closet, and that whole company and everybody in it most likely will be fucking gone. So like, so like with Vince McMahon's accusations, especially when they're accusations at this point in time, you can't really do anything. And when it comes down to it, what's gonna happen? And I bet you any money is it will be settled at a court.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
And
it's either going to be settled out of court, or she's going to be found an equal guilty partner in it and awarded nothing.
So one thing I think should happen, and I honestly think the judicial system, nothing should be settled out of court ever. If you're gonna fucking bring some illegal activity, somebody shouldn't be able to pay you money to be like, okay, never mind, that didn't happen. It's like, he's like, that should not be legal. That's fucking horseshit to me. If you're gonna come at someone and say, you know, this happened, or if it did happen and you're coming at somebody, it needs to fucking end in guilty or fucking not guilty.
Yeah.
Not, he gave me $16 million on top of the $16 million he already gave me while he was shitting on my head.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I
Shitting on the head.
I get it.
I don't know. And it's just like, I feel like today's day and age, people will fucking say this no matter what. It's like, as soon as something comes out about somebody, no matter if it's true or not, it's like, where's my pitchfork, man? Where's my torch and pitchfork? I'm ready to go to work.
Proven innocent, not the other way around.
So your guys are thinking nothing's going to come of it.
I'm thinking what's come of it is what's coming of it. He's out of there. I think he's out of there. Like, they're going to get rid of him from WWE. They're not going to talk about him. And no matter what the outcome is, that'll be from a WWE standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to find...
skeletons are going to get pulled out of the closet.
Well, I mean, that's the way these things work. It's going to be like, and another woman, and another woman, and another woman. And a man.
Yeah.
And it's a midget.
Shitting on their heads.
And it's Hornswoggle. But anyway,
it's so weird, though, because there's the amount of wrestlers that you heard come out and be like, there is like a level of respect for Vince McMahon from these people when they're talking about him. It's like, well, you know, we never saw eye to eye. They never start talking about these fucking like disgusting shit or anything like that. And it's like, oh, you know, I got injured and they set me up with the best surgeons in the world, you know, and things like that, where you get the odd account of CM Punk being like, oh, well, being CM Punk. But like, you don't hear. It seems like if this shit was happening constantly, did nobody know about it? And everybody was just like, yeah, best man. He was not a bad guy. He was just, you know, he was there for me when I needed him. Because then what? Now, fucking everybody else doing this shit.
He helped Gorilla Monsoon's family be sure that they were taken care of after he passed away. Same thing with Bobby the Brain Heenan's family.
What are you going with here?
I guarantee there are plenty of people that know, because that way he could keep things under wraps.
And I understand that, but I don't think Triple H. And yes, why do you think Stephanie left?
Well, they might have had some suspicions about something going on, but maybe not the.
But they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also,
Dad, what you doing?
Everybody's saying that Triple H. Well, Triple H should know. He runs the company, motherfucker. He didn't have the fucking access to the books. That wasn't his fucking job. He was chief content operator or officer. That's what his job is.
So
now,
the claims against Vince McMahon are like literally trafficking within his own company. Which seems to be like, how are you gonna really keep once like 3 or 4 people once the 3 or 4 people know, it's no longer a secret. And everybody's gonna fucking know. It's not like, oh yeah, these people kept tight-lipped forever.
It's a traffic jam.
If you found out your boss was shitting on people's heads, I'd be like, no matter what they said to me, you know, did you know?
Mondays, am I right?
Just don't think anything. I mean, yeah, whatever, you know, but they aren't going to remove his content from any of the fucking shows that he's ever done. So why get rid of him? Because he's already there, and everybody knows who he is. Either way, it doesn't matter. People are going to fucking mention him all the time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just the one thing that is, I hate when this shit kind of happens. No
so
WWE
WWE's in a lose-lose situation. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's just like, I feel like there's, okay, I gotta preface this because I don't know what the fuck happened, right?
No,
there's allegations. There's allegations about everything all the fucking time. Everything might be real, everything might not be fake. I don't know, right? But like, what I've seen happen recently is like, anything that people that, if there's something out there that you enjoy, just expect there's monstrosities behind it. Like watching fucking MCU
too, and I completely agree with you on that.
Watching MCU, Kang the Conqueror's here. Jonathan Majors put fun. Oh, he's a monster, and it's over. Oh, watching WWE, I really like the Attitude Era when they had Vince. Man, Vince is it's over. He was bad. He's a monster. Everyone's a monster, right? So like, I guess never really
like
get
Brock
invested.
Lesnar,
Like
too bad.
Yeah, never get invested or really like anything, just because eventually, even if it doesn't happen, that person's a monster. Even if they're not, they are. Okay, just know that.
Fuck hope.
Yeah, it's just such a fucking downer, man.
Right. Yeah, and I get it.
I just feel like too, at some point in time, like Vince McMahon knew he was going to be a real life villain, and his mustache just came in immediately. And he's like, yes, I have to have the pencil mustache for my bad deeds. They're all creeps, man. Everybody's a creep. But it's a weird dichotomy where like people are like, well, you know, so many men in power are creep. I'm like, women are creeps too, man. Everybody's fucking creep.
Right.
You know, like the majority of fucking teachers having sex with kids are women, so they're creeps too.
Yeah.
Fuck all these creeps.
I don't care personally about I hate to say that. No, it's not. It is. That's him.
Wow.
What?
What Gina shared in the chat.
Well.
Wait, who's what? What now?
So many fucking screens up.
Just go. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of, you know.
Hold on.
Scaring the shit out of you is what it is doing. Fucking clown ass motherfucking idiot. Anyway, he is. Anyway, so yeah, Vince is Vince. Whatever.
Vince is fucked. Ironically, he's fucked.
He may be, but it doesn't matter if he goes or if he stays.
But I am a victim.
If that makes sense to everybody.
But I am a victim, JP.
I'm not saying anybody isn't a victim. I'm not.
I, John Laurinaitis, Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, I am not. I am a victim.
No, he thinks he's a fucking
victim. You can eat that shit.
Now he's trying to cover his ass.
Sorry,
I don't think he's a fan of covering ass at all.
No, I'm not.
No, he's a favor of shitting on people. But
that's called. We call that making a Vince Sunday.
Look.
Yeah, I know. We don't even do it on Sundays.
Yeah, I know.
It's called the Super Bowl, except it's your face.
Super Bowl.
So yeah,
toilet bowl.
So yes,
whatever.
This isn't good news, but if you get rid of fucking Vince, I mean, fucking John Cornette. Jim Cornette said it. He said it. You were there.
Billy Bob.
If you get rid of fucking Vince McMahon, you might as well get rid of fucking wrestling because he
Jim Cornette was fucking allegedly doing fucking roundabouts with his wife and everybody else.
He was grooming wrestlers with his wife.
The thing is, God, I don't know. The problem is with society is I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. And if you don't know what's real and what's not, where do you belong? An insane asylum. The world is fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
All right, we'll move off Vince and his big shit pile.
Shit ton of fucking news from WWE.
Well, that's where we're gonna go next. We'll start with everybody's favorite Cody Rhodes and what they're doing with him now, and how every fan under the sun was like, "How dare you!"
I know they shifted, and I can agree with they shifted. But have you ever had lightning in a bottle?
I personally haven't had it because I think it'd kill me.
They killed you? You didn't like it?
Oh my god. He said he's personally never had it because he thinks it would kill him.
Okay, now you're being literal, motherfucker. You're doing the same shit my fucking cousin's wife or husband did the other day. But it made me laugh. But no, I think they struck lightning in a bottle here. I really do.
The thing is, there's no way they could have gone.
I think they could. I wouldn't have been happy the one way. I would have been like, why are you doing this? But this way makes it works.
The funny part too is like, we talked about this when we were doing the fucking HGGM, but like even them like pivoting, they don't have to tell anybody they pivoted.
No.
They might not be pivoting, but people are so like, oh my god, look, they're just like, it's like Connor said it last time. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because the fans will be like, you didn't do the right thing. It's like, okay, well, we'll adjust it, but we won't admit to doing the wrong thing. Oh, you're adjusting now, huh? It's like, fuck off, man. Are you happy?
Shut the fuck up.
Daniel Bryan's fucking championship run with the hemp belts and saying fickle 5 million fucking times over is the exact explanation of most WWE or wrestling fans in general.
I actually appreciate the fact that even if they did pivot, right? The fact that it happened is actually more entertaining than if it never happened at all. So just if you like the WWE and you like wrestling entertainment, do yourself a favor and shut the fuck up.
Just enjoy the fucking ride.
Now WWE fans are infighting with each other because they want to fucking... And on Twitter, no, it's so dumb. Yes. So they latched onto... Triple H, I think, literally took a fucking shot at it. Now, keep in mind, he's still got him like 50-some days to get to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So if he would have gotten no reaction with the hashtag Cody... you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
justice for Diddy.
He would have done it. He would have kept the story going, and then had The Rock for a couple of weeks, maybe. We want Rock. If that would have fucking gotten the fucking reaction, they would have fucking run with it. But the pop that they got for the fucking hashtag We Want Cody thing, I'm telling you, that's why they fucking.
This is far superior. And honestly, like, people don't credit WWE enough for actually know when they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing better than the average public. Let's just say that they live the fucking sport. So like, there was no harm in doing what they did. If they made like news waves, that's good for them. Yeah, what does it matter?
They did the same thing with Mike Tyson. Did the exact same thing with Mike Tyson. This was just a.
Well, they kind of did the same thing with Daniel Bryan too.
They did. My problem is, I think they were gonna keep going with the fucking Cody Rhodes. At some point, it was gonna be Cody getting a shot. They could have gone two ways with the story though. where they had up until fucking 2 weeks before WrestleMania, they had Cody get his, you know what I mean? And then they anticipate, because you don't need much anticipation beyond that at all.
No, and in all honesty, they don't need to lay out a WrestleMania card for it to sell out. Everybody's going to go regardless,
But
for the most part.
I would say, and Connor, please, if you want to jump in here and say
Jump
something,
in, baby.
please.
I ain't jumping much right now, gentlemen.
Jump in, motherfucker.
But I'm just saying, man, I'm telling you that fucking what they did on fucking Thursday
The whole kickoff show was a huge success.
fucking fantastic. Because guess what it happened?
I know
got people wanting to tune in to fucking SmackDown.
But outside of just doing that, they built, what did they do? They built multiple stories at the same time. The thing that I think every wrestling fan kind of misses and loved from the day where wrestling was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, like
the interweb of stories.
Yeah, well, now, like, when The Rock actually ends up facing against Roman, it's going to be worth more than him just being like, head of the table, I'm back. Like, he's going to be involved in an actual storyline instead of being like, I used to be you.
What was so fucking great is Triple H showed up on Friday night and he said, wow, we have a debacle. He had that fucking controversy. I got your fucking controversy. And that's what he did. Now, he had Nick Aldis say that it will be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I would have held off on that for just a minute or two.
I think it's kind of this is why the general managers are needed. This is why you have them there, so there's an authority figure saying like this is what's happening, and you can play these storylines to be like they might have like The Rock wanted Roman Reigns, but he's just not gonna get him, which is fine. Because when they fight, and they'll probably fight by prediction SummerSlam. I don't know if they're gonna hold it off till next Mania. That's a long time. And
they can't. They don't know with The Rock versus Roman. I think they could hold it off. I think something's gonna happen in between the Elimination Chamber and fucking.
My worry for The Rock versus Roman, if they don't do it now, is The Rock's schedule and The Rock's health.
Yeah, it's gonna lose so much steam.
Well, they can't because now The Rock is aligned with Roman.
Yeah, but I think honestly, you want to build SummerSlam up, main event, Rock vs. Roman, no title, head of the table.
Won't be WrestleMania. I can totally make SummerSlam a fucking event.
Yeah,
like fuck, like why just have WrestleMania be this big giant?
Yeah, have WrestleMania in the summer.
So with WWE, I don't mind that they do the big giant spectacle at WrestleMania. But make your other pay-per-views worth the shit, especially the other four.
SummerSlam
especially SummerSlam, because I always said the biggest party event of the summer.
I think SummerSlam has the highest potential to be the second best pay-per-view of the year because it's not beholden to a gimmick.
Not anymore. It used to be.
Where Survivor Series is. The Survivor Series is and Royal Rumble is, and those are the other two.
I'm telling you right now, when they created SummerSlam, it got bigger because they would have they would do a second WrestleMania is essentially what they would fucking do.
Also, do it outside. For some reason, I just love outdoor stadiums.
Yeah. So, Connor, yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, I'm here.
No.
Come to us, son.
So
and speak.
What do you think of SummerSlam? I think that if they do Rock versus Roman at SummerSlam, it's great. It makes SummerSlam a fucking event because it used to be. They used to have WrestleMania level main events at SummerSlam, and then they just stopped fucking doing it because we gotta wait till WrestleMania.
If they do Roman and The Rock at SummerSlam, it's gonna sell like Mania.
Oh God, yes.
And that's what they needed to do. And
I love how it's like Connor, just talk. We both did.
Go ahead. Connor.
I was waiting to see.
Go ahead, Connor. I'm sorry.
Going back to what you were saying earlier about telling multiple stories and then pivoting. First off, who gives a flying fuck if they
Right,
pivot
right.
it or not?
But this is people
What
too
does it matter?
ingrained. They're too ingrained in the way the product is made, and it's
What
like,
does
oh,
it
I wouldn't do
matter?
this. I'm fantasy booking. I'm a penis.
Look, I would
Fantasy booking is the problem.
I would realistically say that we, the audience, whether you're a smart mark or how deep you're behind the curtain or whatever, have been conditioned to expect a certain, style, way, rhythm of how things are booked, right? Even if we like them or we don't like them, whatever the case may be, or we can, get our inside scoops and see how things are going. This is not like that, and especially for them to, not only is it not like this. It's created a door of multiple possibilities and opportunities that you don't know where things are going, and that's not happened before. And not especially this close to the biggest and first WrestleMania without fucking Vince McMahon involved in any way.
So to your point, I do want to say, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, there's the argument with good writing, right? And good writing doesn't always have to leave open a bunch of options, but it is so much easier if you do that to kind of like go where you want to go when you want to go somewhere. The versatility is great. But when this happened, because I'm not actively watching the product, and to my understanding, Connor, you might check out the pay-per-views, but you're not really actively watching the content. You might see things on Twitter or something like that.
Correct.
When this happened, me and you were in the same boat where it's like, I just give it time. This is probably not. I think they're gonna do something again. Where I know, JP, you were watching the product and you're like, no, they're going this way because. So it was a bit it's weird to see the difference.
I forgot about the press conference. I didn't realize that there was going to be a press conference, and then when I realized there's going to be a press conference. Yeah, they're going to pivot, which I think they did this press conference, and this was announced before they even Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they were doing this presser, but they had that perfect time to where they can then say, The Rock is going to come out, but we're still going to go with. I mean, this is a story that's so coded.
So
by the way, whoever's idea it was a fucking genius.
I do want to say one thing though. If this was a couple years ago with Vince McMahon at the helm, JP, you are 100% right. They wouldn't have changed the fucking thing. They would have gone into WrestleMania. But like the only reason I was kind of like, well, now Triple H has complete control, and we've seen kind of how he's worked that in the past. We're
still trusting him.
Yeah, so we're still like I'm not going to treat it. I'm not going to treat it like Vince McMahon would, where it's like I'm going to cart something out in front of you, and if you don't like it, I'm going to make you fucking swallow it. I don't give a shit. Like the reason for me honestly was how they handled CM Punk. Yes. His return was actually like the more I thought about it, I'm like, this is exactly what you needed to do, because you debut him in Chicago, you bring him out. And it would have leaked otherwise, but you don't really have plans for him. But that's fine. You capitalize on him to the max of what you can get. And if that's how Triple H is going to run wrestling, I'm 100% okay. That's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, wrestling should be presented.
I think what Triple H is doing right now,
he's playing it pretty safe. Currently, this is the biggest risk, but then he rectified it kind of.
But he did. And I think he's weaving, and he's gonna do. He might do it 2 more times, but
I feel like he'll push the boundaries of certain things, and then he always has like this ability to auto-correct.
Yeah,
but that'll make that WrestleMania finish that much more. Is he gonna win it?
Well, now it's so weird because people already really wanted Cody versus Roman, right? They were already 100% behind Cody. This just gives them more reason to be behind him, right? It's like how am I going to inject this with some energy?
What I liked about
genius.
It's ridiculously
what
genius.
I liked about this whole thing, and this is why I don't think it's just a pivot. I think it was the way when Rock came out, they knew exactly what they were doing.
You know what? Even if they didn't, and they said, we're going to throw this out there, and we're going to see how the reaction is. And then we've got 2 options in front of us, and we know where we're going to go. Yeah. But that's a great way to book wrestling, because you're not discrediting the fans, but you're not always going to give them what they want. You're going to gauge your reaction to see if it's like, well, people are behind him, but they're not 100% behind him. Maybe we'll still go this way.
This is when the crowd reaction tells you everything you need to know. And they didn't have and this tells you, even if WWE did it, tells you where they were going the whole time. But the way they did it is Cody got his pop. They got the "We Want Cody," and as soon as The Rock comes out, or when The Rock came out, there was a boo. Like did not fucking want Rock in this match. And I'm talking about the people in the arena. Then fucking Cody comes out, or I can't remember. Seth started the whole thing. So Seth was a catalyst for this thing. And then Roman comes out. He cuts his fucking promo. Then The Rock comes out. And then he said something. And I can't remember what it was.
I love involving Seth in this because it gives him worth.
But then Cody comes out and he says this is bullshit. Because he starts talking about his fucking bloodline, right? Rock does, because he showed the family tree. And that people are like, fuck, we don't care. The crowd wanted Cody, and then Cody comes out. As soon as he come out, we want Cody. I mean, the crowd went fucking nuts.
I honestly think like Triple H he has parts of Vince McMahon in him, but he has the ability to kind of he's so malleable with his characters. He's gonna be like, if something's working, we'll go with it instead of killing someone because something is working, what Vince McMahon has done.
Triple H, yes, he has bits of Vince McMahon in his styling, but it's Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Vince McMahon.
Well, it's all the good stuff, really.
Yeah.
He's learned from the master of doing it, but Vince McMahon, for a lot of times, it's like a stick in mud. He couldn't be moved in his ideals, right? It's like where it's like, oh, this is what you're gonna be, and people are gonna love it. Well, I don't love it, but yeah, go with it, whatever. With Triple H,
that's why Stone Cold Steve Austin left.
Yeah,
they were gonna have him going up against Brock Lesnar and Steve Austin.
I don't think you're gonna see the people flocking away from the company for like creative decisions unless the person is problematic now, in all honesty, because somebody has to lose, right? But like when it comes down to it, what they did is we're gonna have Roman versus The Rock, and The Rock is gonna be the face and Roman's gonna be the heel, and then fucking days later The Rock is a heel. And that's exactly what you needed to do with the reaction of the fan base. I remember watching something I watched recently with Undertaker, Kurt Angle, or whatever, and it's like, the guys that really know how to do it, all we say is we're going to have a match later in the back. And then we go out there and we listen to the audience and we kind of make it work the way we want to work. And that's how wrestling needs to be booked.
Yes.
And that's the way he's doing it right now. I'm not saying that he's perfect, but he's trying. He got me good.
Yeah,
to this point. Now he could come out and swerve again. But you can only swerve one more fucking time before the fans are like, fuck this.
No, I think they're setting where they're going with this. And I saw this thing on Twitter where
I don't mind if they do a swerve to do another swerve, which is fine, but after that I would stop.
See, so I'm gonna segment this a little bit, but like, I'm not a big I'm an all right fan of The Rock. He's okay, right? I don't really love the fact that I feel like he's a manufactured human, but on Twitter, someone was using his like heel talk to say that he's failed the people in fucking I was gonna say Moana.
Maui?
Yeah, in Maui. And that his like organization hasn't helped anybody, and they were using his heel talk for it. And they're like, look at him, all the fans hate him because they're booing him for this. I'm like, okay.
It's just like, you have that confused. That was the press conference. Even community notes slapped this guy. So
Yeah, but the amount of people underneath him. This is the problem I have. The amount of people. Yeah. Oh, people should stop listening to this. It's like, what is this? It's like, just think for 1 second. Stop letting the world think for you.
yeah,
I don't like The Rock. I think The Rock is a product, not a person. So
in a
let
lot
me
of
just
ways
say
he
that.
is. Yes.
But I mean, don't put that stupid shit out there. Come on.
I didn't.
That shit was horrible, and the same thing with Donald Trump talking about like leaving NATO or whatever, which didn't.
He said that during his fucking presidency.
Yeah, but it was supposed to
Like,
be yesterday to
yeah.
people.
He
Now.
can't. I seen another post today about him. Like, dude, he's not fucking. He's not leaving the NATO. The only thing he can do is stop funding it, and then they'll be on the bottom of the totem pole. They'll be the last one fucking notified. Hey, you're getting bombed, fucker. Just saying. Because we're all coming fucking after you.
I think I'm tired of just fucking idiots, man. I like people that just blindly follow everything everywhere. That's kind of why I got tired of the fucking wrestling community. I'm not saying everybody's an idiot. There's a lot of smart people in the wrestling community, but my God, man.
Yeah.
If you're not like following everything they're fucking shoving in your mouth, you're like, man, I would really like to taste your skin.
Right, but the Cody thing, man, that was good. Right now, it's good storytelling.
Right now, it's the best thing in wrestling.
SmackDown was okay on Friday. I mean, it was still but it was pretty good. It wasn't. But again, they got to build something. What I do like is what they're doing is they're having matches to have for the Elimination Chamber. So the winner of the Elimination Chamber will take on Seth. And I think it's either going to be LA Knight or it's going to be Randy Orton. It's going to be one of those two. That's who it's going to be in the final two. I'm looking forward to the Elimination Chamber.
I feel like if you could influence...
And I say that because what they did, I got what I wanted. And I was hoping that's what they were doing, is just doing... They hit lightning in a bottle. I think it's good for the WWE that they're doing this story, but I can understand why people are upset that The Rock isn't in the match. I get why people want to see it. But I hate to break it to you, all you fucking people out there. The Rock actually is not related to Roman. It's a blood oath through their lineage. As far as, it was Rock's grandfather, and I think that they said this on Thursday. It's Rock's grandfather and Roman's grandfather. They did a blood oath, and then they essentially became fans. It's like blood brothers. They became blood brothers. So now they're family, but they're not really related in any way, shape, or form. That's all I'm going to say.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's fake. It's a fucking act. I'm okay with them like playing it up to be like, it's part of my bloodline.
They actually did. That was an actual thing. They did do a blood oath. But my point is they're not even. And I don't mind them because they're playing off of their lineage, their heritage.
Well,
That's how they do things.
In wrestling right now, every Samoan is everybody's brother. So
correct.
No, it's brother.
Brother. No, it's Oos.
But
right.
But I think, and then I had somebody tell me that if it wasn't for fucking Dustin and Dusty, Cody wouldn't have fucking gotten into wrestling. And I'm just gonna say this now. You could have said that about fucking Roman Reigns. If his family wasn't involved in wrestling, there would be no Roman Reigns. Just saying.
What does it fucking matter?
Right, but that's my point.
I feel like
so they both.
I get so bogged down in the fucking wrestling communities, like hypotheticals and also like knee-jerk reaction. It's like they got you by the fucking short and danglies, okay? Like it's so ridiculous. Take a step away, look at it.
You are entertained. You are talking about it, which is what WWE wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just going to go their own way with their story, which is what they need to do with social media. I call it the social media era. Because
the problem is social media era is actually like the era of fucking witch hunts. Like social, like I look at like internet social media growth as being like 50 years behind actual human interaction growth.
Right.
So everything's just repeating on social media. And the problem is people live on it. So they're just going back to the fucking 1940s.
Yes. But it's really, I personally think they're doing a really good job with what they're doing. I do. I love where they're going right now.
It's intriguing.
I love the storytelling aspect of what Triple H is doing. Now, I'm hoping to God he finally finishes the story, because that's what they need to do.
I kind of hate that fucking saying. I need to finish my story. I feel like that's actually like a...
It's not Cody that needs to finish his story.
Conclude.
It's Triple H that needs to finish his story.
No, but I feel like the whole finish his story is like a saying made by corporate, not made by fan base, and we're just like, yeah, finish that story, give it to me.
But yes, you need to stop on it, because yes, we want to see the end of the story. You already had us hooked on that, and I get what you're saying, Basement, but it has to end. It has to end at WrestleMania.
Oh, my legs.
But I like that fucking hand slap. That's great. The fucking on the stream. I'm sorry. But yeah, I am hoping that I have a really good feeling about this year's WrestleMania. I really truly am. Oh, it has the makings to probably be the best one ever, in my eyes.
We can certainly hope so.
That's all I'll say.
Like I said before, we're apprehensive because
I know.
Fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we know, we know Vince is completely removed from the picture, but we always get nervous. It's like, well, it happened once before. So,
Yeah, I get it.
My problem with WrestleMania is the only problem I have is the track record so far for pay-per-views being mediocre to a little bit above mediocre.
Yeah.
That's where honestly, the card will probably be solid, but the actual show, I think we're going to end up with at best, an 8 out of 10. I don't think it'll ever go above that.
No.
I'd be happy with 7, to be honest with you.
I think it's probably going to be a 7 out of 10, where the matches that deliver mostly will, but the other matches are what the fuck is going on?
I would like to do this. Basement, you're not. You guys can play along with this. Favorite WrestleMania. 3 favorite WrestleManias.
Oh, well, I have...
Hold on.
Don't know if I have 3 under my belt here.
You have 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And
no, he said he doesn't know if he's got 3 under his belt.
I do. And then number 3, or number 2, 3 of the best Super Bowls you've ever seen.
I'll do the WrestleMania one.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Okay, I'll
I've
do
seen
all
a
of them,
couple.
because that won't take me very... It might take me a little bit longer for the Super Bowl, or the WrestleMania, but I'll do it. Go ahead, Connor.
Let's see. So just top 3, no particular order in those 3, just general top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one's kind of a duh. This one's for everyone's. WrestleMania 17 is going to be included in that. I mean, that's a given. That's probably one of the best start to finish manias. I was a big fan of WrestleMania 21.
I am too.
I'm a big fan of...
Who was the main event in that one?
Batista and Triple H.
Okay, and that was the storyline where Triple H was talking behind...
It was a breakup of Evolution, I think, right?
It was the final breakup of Evolution.
Well, they're doing that with Bayley in a certain kind of way. But anyway, go ahead.
JBL versus Cena, Orton versus Undertaker for the first time. It was the first Money in the Bank.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good pay-per-view. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think 17, 19, and 21 for me. I'll go quick. Right in between them.
God damn it.
So-
You son of a bitch.
7, 19,
You
17,
son of
19,
a
and
bitch.
21, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go with yeah, God damn it, yeah, 19. I was about to say 18, but I'm like, you know what? No, 19 had a much stronger undercard.
So Heather,
I'm in line with them.
are you?
Yeah.
So I've seen every single WrestleMania there is to see. I've seen them all.
Samesies.
I've seen them all. I can honestly tell you,
I think
WrestleMania
93
3,
is supposed to be
WrestleMania
the
3,
best. Yeah.
WrestleMania 3 is one of my favorite WrestleManias.
That is a pretty solid
WrestleMania
one.
13 is another one of my favorite WrestleManias. I didn't so much care about 21 or 19. WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania 14 was also my favorite. I mean, Stone Cold was so fucking hot then when he won that fucking title. It was crazy. You had to be alive during that time. All anybody could fucking talk about. I mean, that was how big WWE was.
It's weird though because
everybody talked about it.
Until I got a bit older, like I didn't go back and go through the lore of WrestleManias and stuff. I'm like a wrestling fan, but I'm not that type of fan. I'll watch it, fine, that's fine, but I'm not like I have to see everything they've ever done.
So my point is what I'm getting at is if you didn't watch wrestling at that time, it was so like you would see people that didn't watch. It was bubbler. It's just like in the video. Like, did you see what happened in the pay-per-view? Did you see what? People like my boss probably would have walked up to me and said something about it. I'm like, I know. And it's just was like in everyday conversation. You don't get that anymore. So,
like the era that I grew up with wrestling, WrestleMania was still like the big event, but it wasn't like it didn't. There was a bunch of other pay-per-views that were fucking incredible. Where I'm like, it was so everything was so good for me at the time that WrestleMania didn't eclipse the other pay-per-views like it kind of does more now, or how it's
talking about
treated,
like around like 03 to like 05, 06.
Well, I feel like during the Attitude Era, every pay-per-view was for me great. I liked everything. I was too young to kind of go through which one was actually a better wrestling event. And in the end, yes, I could look back and say the WrestleManias were better than some of the others. But
WrestleMania 3 for me, because there was that one great match in there, and then you had the actual moment that never happens. Nobody ever seen it live on TV. Andre the Giant being slammed. And it was an organic
It's weird because it's a moment that you have to be there at the time of what, like looking back on it, you can understand it, but you can't feel it.
But I think one of those times they've done a really good job of putting you in that time. This is why I like certain documentaries. Sometimes they do the times like they'll do a history of the times. They give you perspective. Then they tell the story of WrestleMania 3 and why that match had meant so much. Or what, you know what I mean?
It's weird because it's the same thing. Look, I'm going to compare it to fucking 9/11. Because, like, going back and seeing it is one thing. Living in the moment and knowing exactly what the atmosphere was like during it and being like the first time to see it is much different than looking back and watching it. You'll never, it's just an experience that can't be duplicated.
But I think WrestleMania, that moment.
But the thing is, like, the way that you perceive it can never be perceived by me no matter what I do.
Sure, I think that is, if you're a wrestling fan, I think if you had never watched wrestling and you started watching wrestling, you wouldn't need to be of the times to see what happened there.
Okay, so if you never you've never seen wrestling, you don't even know wrestling exists, and you started watching it from its origin point, then yes. But that's not the case. Like everybody, all of us. Even if we tried to avoid it, we would have seen wrestling.
So if I said to somebody, "Hey, you got to watch this," I think they would.
They would never be able to replicate your experience.
No, not my experience.
And even like their experience would never be as genuine as yours because
I think it can be though.
I do not think so.
I do.
Connor?
I do.
Yes.
Where do you fall on this quandary?
How did we get here?
We're
talking about the best WrestleManias.
We're
still talking about the best WrestleManias. All I'm saying is like the experience he had watching Andre the Giant getting body slammed by Hulk Hogan is something that no matter what you do, you can never actually authentically replicate in someone that is that has any form of wrestling knowledge at all.
Agreed.
You agree that somebody who has never watched wrestling, you say, "Hey, you got to watch this match," and they're like, "Holy shit!" Their reaction is going to be.
But you're not going to find someone that's never. No. First of all, like you're looking for somebody that is basically in the same shoes as you are at that time, or even before that time. Doesn't know wrestling. What are you know? Like a tribe in the middle of fucking Tanzania.
My point is that you can't say that you can't do that, though. That's my point.
It's extremely difficult. Sorry,
you can aim for the desired genuine same reaction, but no one person is going to have the exact note for note exact same experience.
So taking out of the individualism of it, today's day and age, even if you haven't watched wrestling, you've seen wrestling to an extent in some way, somewhere, somehow. Yep. Where like that moment would actually fucking. So if you've never seen wrestling and that's the moment you show, people would be like, "What the fuck is this garbage?" I honestly think people would fucking hate it because you have to understand the storyline to get there. There's some it's not possible.
But I'm just saying. So you can because they have a show. They have shows on WWE that you can go back and watch the build to what happens.
The experience is not.
It's the same.
It's not. It's so different.
That's why I like the simplicity of the stories.
I disagree. There are people so like I have one of the people I work with. He's never fucking watched wrestling. He doesn't even know what it is.
Is he retarded?
Wrestling. He like the wrestling that I used to do. He doesn't know. If I was to ask him who, he wouldn't know who Hulk Hogan is.
Is he Amish?
No.
There's no way you know somebody that doesn't know who Hulk Hogan is.
Yes, I am going
There is no way this person exists in real life.
I am telling you right now. I had to explain to him who Hulk Hogan was.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Okay,
I've never. He's like, that guy. I had to literally.
No, so he knows. He doesn't know who it is.
I shall be right back.
Doesn't have that. Oh, I'm fucking Hulk Hogan. I've seen of him. He would say I've seen of him, but I've never watched him.
But he'll never have the same.
But he said, was he really good?
In order to have the same experience or even close to it as you did, he had to have been going through the exact same things that you were going through, the exact same time frame.
Talking about me. I wasn't.
So like me seeing Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant literally meant I understand the meaning, but whatever. It's not this big wrestling moment for me. Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, which because of my life experience up to that point, it doesn't.
That's not what ended the match. So it ended with Hogan must pose. That's it. It didn't end with the body slam.
I know, but that is the iconic moment. And I feel like these iconic moments, just like this, why I compared it to 9/11. It's like you're never really going to be able to understand it unless you experienced it in its element at the time.
I think you could do it with anything. It's neither here nor there.
Heather?
What I said, it was 3, 13, and 14 are my favorites. Because they were, to me, storytelling, I guess. My Super Bowls, I would probably go the ones that I have seen.
Whoa.
Even though I supported the Bills when the Giants lost to the Bills, or Giants beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. That was a really good Super Bowl. Super Bowl 31, when Green Bay won the Super Bowl. That was pretty cool. Second one, I was excited, but I wasn't like, oh my God. And then probably Super Bowl 4, 5, whichever one Pittsburgh beat Dallas in. They lost on a like 35-31 or something. It's a pretty good game. Or you could go. Another one is the Rams and the Titans.
So
That was a really good game.
JP, I'd like you to name your top 3 puppy bowls.
I've never seen one and don't play.
They're
them.
all the best. Is the right
They
answer.
are.
That is the correct answer.
I've never watched a Puppy Bowl.
I've
I
seen
think
clips of it. That's
So
all.
I remember when the Puppy Bowl was just like 2 dogs, and then they would like bat the ball around every once in a while, and then it turned into this big stupid.
Hosted by Michael Vick, the puppy
Yeah,
bowl.
I know.
Oh God.
Rated
No,
R,
Giants
coming
versus
Friday.
the Bills. That's the game where the Bills missed Scott Norwood missed the kick to end the game, and the Giants won the Super Bowl. So no, I am thinking that was a pretty good Super Bowl too. But no, man, the commercials suck though. I'll say that.
I found this list I meant to bring up earlier of just some fun questions I could throw out there. They're completely rando questions, but
Yeah.
designed
better be
to
fun.
have some fun. All right, you tell me. All right, here's the first question. Is cereal soup?
No.
I feel like cereal is cereal.
You slurp cereal like you slurp.
I mean, it's
soup.
eaten the same way as soup, but this is the thing. Let me classify shit. They were like, "Oh, are tacos hamburgers?" They're between fucking yeah.
So let me blow your fucking mind. Is chili soup?
It could be because there's a protein in it.
Yep.
I don't know if that's.
Well, you don't. No, you don't have to have a protein for it to be.
Is
called soup.
water soup?
No, it's water. You're drinking.
Well-
you're just a fucking dumbass if you're drinking water with a fucking spoon. All right.
Well,
I'm just gonna fucking say it. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. If you're drinking water with a spoon,
That's
you
soup.
need to go talk. You ever seen the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? You might as well go to that facility.
If I boil hot water and I throw a couple noodles in it, I'm like soup, bitch, eat it.
Sure.
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles.
See, it is soup. It's always been soup.
But milk is not considered a soup.
Yeah.
milk on its own.
Yeah, you
So
not-
it's just milk soup.
Oh, this
okay.
is
It's okay.
this one should be a little bit more hopefully peaceful. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
It would never happen. Yeah.
Well, actually,
How big
it
are these
depends.
chickens? Can we mutate them?
It depends on if the elephants are scared of chickens.
I was gonna say it
Well,
could happen if it could only take one chicken, because it could scare the elephant
But-
and make it run
Okay,
away
it's hypotheticals
and
here.
go sliding down a cliff.
These are hypotheticals, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, Connor, is there an actual answer? to this?
There is no, because
no.
You have to go potty.
if
So
you
when
had
you-
1,000,000 chickens and the elephant just started to run, it ain't happening.
Come on.
I don't think any amount of chickens could kill an elephant.
I don't think any amount of
Wait,
shit- yeah,
unless
I was gonna
bird
say,
flu was like transferring to the elephant in some way, some sort
Yeah,
of bacterial.
I don't think. You know what? That these are fucking mind blowing questions. You're just trying to. You're overthinking it in the basement.
Well, I mean, no. The correct answer is no amount.
Then stop talking about it.
Why?
No amount of chickens could defeat an elephant.
You are correct.
I don't know about that.
I don't think it happens. Anyway. What you got?
This is why we need a battle royal with animals.
Okay.
I mean, a Royal Rumble.
Hold on. Oh, this one's good. This one's good.
Go ahead, sir.
What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Football.
Oh, I feel
said
like everybody would just be barfing.
I'm going to tell you right now, Heather will vouch that football.
I don't even know the question. 'Cause I have to get up so many times.
I'm sorry. Ask the question again. I'll go get it.
What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
Hockey.
Football.
Hockey.
That's true. That baseball, you kind of have to do that, but you have to do that for all sports anyway.
I have a few for this answer, but go ahead, Basement.
I'm trying to find the perfect one.
I said baseball because there's a lot of coordination you have to do between throwing the ball, hitting the ball,
And
running in
catching
a straight line.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about the players?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck it. Any fucking sport, man. I played softball completely fucking shit-faced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which would be the funniest?
No, I'm actually pretty good.
No, he's asking.
No, I was actually pretty good when I was drunk.
No.
Yeah.
He's asking which sport would be the funniest.
And I said, I think football.
I'm gonna go with dodgeball.
I'm dead. Dead.
Because that shit is gonna get real wild real fast.
I have three answers. I said baseball, race car driving.
Well, that's just death.
A road
actually, is what that
Okay,
is.
now racing, yes, I can understand.
And then
If it's a road course too.
bowling.
Well, bowling's
No,
already
because
played like that.
So I've bowled a 300. I've bowled a 300. I couldn't walk, but I could bowl. Like I couldn't walk in a straight line.
I feel like the
I'm gonna
perfect
tell you this,
sport.
There was one St. Patrick's night. I was bowling on the league. I was doing shots of Kraken and also drinking Southern Comfort,
Southern Kraken.
Southern Comfort, and ginger ale
Sorry.
at the same time. So
Bowling is actually nobody gives a shit. It's just for fun. But I can vouch that I was pretty good while totally fucking intoxicated. Totally intoxicated. I'm not saying it's easy to do. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody that wants to be a really good bowler.
But do it.
But do it one time. Try to bowl a 300 completely inebriated.
Let me see here.
Oh, with
Give me 1
rock
second.
climbing.
end up getting halfway up and slip and just dangling
Don't
there
look
like,
down. It's just
"Yay!"
the world is spinning. It's over for me.
I think I broke my back. But yeah, so
Let's see here.
Oh, if they had like triathlons or it's a decathlon, the shit where you have to shoot. You have to shoot. You have to ski. You have to swim.
that's the biathlon.
Here we go. Would you rather have no nose or no arms?
No nose.
Yeah, no nose.
Wait, are we saying like I can't smell, or it's just like I'm
Your nose is cut
like
off from your face.
okay, yeah,
Down.
cut off from. I can get a fake nose. Can't get fake working arms. I can still smell.
You can get fake arms.
Yeah, but that's
your
just not good.
But you can't get fake arms because you might just be robotic and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. What if my nose itches?
You're walking down
Smacking
the road,
myself in the
your
face.
arms are just fucking going fucking nuts.
Or worse, the battery dies while you're jerking off.
I feel like
But
fake
then-
arms haven't come far enough for them to
I
be a
would
good
because
thing.
you can get a plastic nose.
Yeah, there's fucking
You can go get plastic surgery and have your nose completely replaced.
yeah. Replace it with a dick.
Yeah.
Dick
What
nose.
the fuck? What?
You had that picture fucking like half the streams you did, Connor. A man with a dick for a nose? I remember.
What are you talking about?
It was Truck who had like a dick for a nose. One of the pictures you had for your Discord.
I remember your life better than you
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, sure you do.
What would be your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse?
do.
A knife.
I was gonna say anything that's melee, because then you don't have to worry about ammo.
So the reason
What kind of zombies are we talking about here?
Oh Jesus!
Oh my god!
There's so many different types of zombies.
You can start with a gun, but you're always gonna want a knife.
No, you always need something that you can always rely on and does something else.
What was that sentence again?
You always need to rely on something.
You always need something that's
gonna
reliable
use.
that can do something else, like a knife or like a crowbar, something like that.
Oh, okay.
What's a
My
perfect
brain
weapon,
don't
though?
work so good.
What's that again?
I mean, talking about The Walking Dead, a crossbow is pretty damn good if you want
Yeah,
projectile.
but then you have to constantly
go back
stop
and get it.
arrows.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
can
then
you
you
can
have
get
to-
your arrows back.
Give me an axe. Give me a big enough axe to do what I need to do.
I hear what you're saying. I can get
Or
what you're
scythe.
saying. But
Sickle.
sometimes you just don't have fucking time, right?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, it's a knife because you can kill things close. You can put it on the end of a stick and it's a spear. You can fucking cut your wrists open and end it all.
Well,
Okay.
you wouldn't
We
be ending
don't
it all
promote
because
suicide here.
you wouldn't be ending it all because if it's like The Walking Dead, the
Well, you
fucking
just come back,
infection's
yeah.
airborne, so you would still end up a
Just come
zombie.
back, yeah.
So you'd have to have
Well,
something to
then-
take your brain out.
New and improved.
Yeah.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Ooh.
Fucking birds in the morning.
Canadian geese.
Yes.
They're already the
Tom
rudest.
turkeys. Either Canadian geese or Tom turkeys.
Fucking geese. Every now and then I'm here. Like I wake up. This fucking dickheads flying over me, and it just sounds. It sounds
Or
so.
swans.
They sound so retarded.
They do.
Fuck those bitches. One attacked me when I was a kid. I'll never forget.
I've been chased by a rooster. I know you're feeling it.
I can't
those
fucking
birds.
breathe.
Fuck a goddamn. Fuck a goddamn chicken.
They just get together. I don't get it, man.
Can you stand out? This is why I don't know.
And,
if I
then-
could
and then
live
you
in
look
an
up
area
and they're
where-
flying
where
in this
there would be
massive V.
geese.
If
They'd land in my front yard and they'd sit there.
They shit constantly, and they're
God.
so angry all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
fly.
beautiful looking animals, but fucking, and they're huge, man. These things are fucking massive. Okay.
They're bigger and they're bigger assholes too.
Yeah, they're fucking dickheads, man. So we're migrating here, migrating. Fucking dickheads. I remember I threw a can at
Right.
I threw a can at one when I was a kid, and that motherfucker chased me for miles. He's coming after you.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you, man. I had that rooster. I had the same thing. So the rooster chased me down my cousin's hill, and that motherfucker would as he was fucking chasing.
They're fucking territorial monsters, is what they are.
okay, if animals could talk, which one would be the most boring?
Sloth.
An owl.
Oh, they might be really cool, actually, sloths. They should be really
But they
slow
would
to
it
listen
would
to.
be exactly like Zootopia where they take a half hour to say 3 words.
That's what I thought.
I feel like a rabbit would be Gen Z.
Oh god, yeah.
Talking too fast, saying nothing.
Some great shit.
Yeah, I found this list like a few weeks ago and I meant to share it beforehand. Let's see. Hold on. What is the worst song ever?
Mariah Carey.
Shake it off.
I'm not even gonna say
I'm
the
just
song. I'm
kidding.
just Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas.
The only song she's remembered for.
I will say this right now. I I love Christmas. I love Christmas carols.
I love the
Christmas
old
songs.
Christmas songs.
Me too.
The new
It's
ones
hurt.
can suck a fucking fat dick. Honestly.
Anybody that calls that a Christmas carol
Agreed.
needs to be punched in
You
the
know what
fucking
that's
face.
called is a marketing opportunity for a bitch
Yeah.
that looks like an orangutan.
When you've worked retail for a
Oh my God.
when you've worked retail a certain number of years, you learn very quickly that there are only about 12 true traditional Christmas carols.
Oh,
Everything
God.
else is just a different rendition of those 12 fucking songs.
I don't mind Christmas music going off and listening
I mean,
to it.
Christmas music is kind of like ambiance. It's fucking background music for the most part. There's
Yeah,
some
it
Christmas
is.
songs that are really good, but I just got like anybody that's ever worked a day in their life that's not 90 years old will have heard fucking Mariah Carey's dumb fucking sounds coming out of the fucking thing. And once it's once it's November 1st, this
Yep.
fucking bitch.
I with you, man. I hear exactly what you're saying. I lived it when that song came out. As soon as that song came out, because when did it come out? Like late 80s?
God no, late 90s.
Was she a huge thing in the
She
I thought
debuted
yeah.
in the 90s.
That's when she
Okay.
was huge, and then she
So,
just became a seasonal special.
So yeah, Mariah Carey was a big thing when I was just becoming a young adult, right? So, and Mariah Carey, I mean, back when I was growing up, I probably would have boned her.
I never found her attractive.
I did. I kind of still do, but my point,
I don't know.
my point
This
is,
guy's going back on the evolutionary fucking map. It's like the missing link. I'd fuck her.
my point is that song is not a Christmas carol.
No.
That's all my point is. Like, it's not like, "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." Those are, I fucking love those Christmas. Those are Christmas carols. Oh, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Give me Bob Rivers.
Now that's not a carol, but that's actual Christmas.
I mean,
It's
I don't
not-
mind someone that's like newer singing the old songs because they're just traditional and they're most of the time, honestly, they're actually good, fucking wholesome songs. Mariah Carey was like talking about who she wants to fuck for Christmas.
Well, Heather, what do you think?
Call Me Maybe.
Oh, that's a bad song. That is a bad song.
I thought we were talking about Christmas songs.
No.
What
it's worst
isn't
song.
Friday a terrible song too? I've never heard it, but I know it's
The
terrible.
Call Me Maybe one's pretty bad too.
Call me
I will
maybe.
say it's funny when you see the videos of fucking sports cheerleaders doing it, and then you have the Marines and the Army guys copying those videos. It's fucking hilarious.
Like,
But
So
the song
there-
itself, no.
so
No,
there-
JP, we were saying what's the worst song ever?
right, I told you.
Oh no. Alanis Morissette.
I actually like Alanis
Thank
Morissette.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, no. Thank you. Fucking kill
Okay,
me.
I'll have to listen to that song. I might.
No,
disagree.
just it's all bad.
No,
I
no,
can't
I
stand it.
really
Terrible.
think Mariah Carey is all I want for Christmas.
I think
What
Alanis
is the-
Morissette takes my.
It's over. It's over.
Takes-
Like, I hear it like every 35 seconds on the radio during Christmas.
At least it's
What is the
sung
mo- decently.
Alanis Morissette sounds like if you were to pull a string on a bow.
She's so melodic. But anyway,
Fuck her.
what's the next one?
Hold on. I had it. What
I
is
like
the
mine.
what is the most boring sport?
Croquet? No, actually, croquet is pretty fucking fun, man.
Darts.
No, actually, I think darts is a pretty interesting game.
Darts is boring
do-
for me
I
to
do.
watch.
I can watch any sport and not be bored.
JP's gonna be happy I'm sleeping on the couch tonight anyway because Wendy's in our bed. Curling.
I love curling.
Curling is like bowling on ice.
I love curling. I can sit and watch fucking curling. I can.
I've tried to
fucking
watch
sit and
darts.
everything.
Probably.
I've
I
tried
could
to watch
get-
darts. It's so boring. honestly.
I get it. Golf for me is really fucking boring to watch, but I love
That's
playing.
my
it.
pick.
No, golf is fun to play, and golf is like it's a weird watch
Now,
because
I can watch it, but it is very. I usually watch golf if like I'm really fucking hungover. I just turn on golf, and Heather's seen me do this. I just turn on golf, and I'm like, they don't yell, they don't carry on like fools.
honestly,
They golf clap. It's a quiet sport. I
I feel
deal
like
with
with
that.
golf, if you've
Mhm.
ever been on a vacation to like any place in like not South America, but like any place in the Caribbean, and you get the TV there, and the TV only shows like pictures of the place you're staying in.
Yeah.
That is golf. Golf is like it's like scenery.
Yeah.
The golf is a very. I mean, you look at it like some of the courses. Like, how do these guys so good? They need
Golf is a very difficult sport. Well,
It's very difficult.
actually,
but
every sport is somewhat difficult to play
correct, but
or
I'm
be
just
good
saying, I'm just saying, the basic. You and me, we can go out. We could play a game of basketball, and we feel like, hey, we actually played pretty okay. You go out. On the golf
No,
course,
you need to
or-
play golf for about 2 years before you can
Yeah.
even be like, I can kind of play golf.
Here's a
That's
fun
why
one.
I will always stick with mini golf.
But it's
golf's
a
cool.
very boring for me. Golf is probably the most boring sport to watch, but I can watch it. I can watch almost any sport.
I can
I'm
watch
gonna be
any
honest
sport
with
too,
you.
but darts are just boring to me, man.
It started to, yeah.
What is the most annoying? What is the most annoying color?
Wendy's gonna hate me.
She hates
That fucking canary or piss yellow.
Yeah, that's what Wendy's room.
I don't find colors really annoying, but I find certain colors like overused and a bit loud.
Yeah. I don't have.
I don't really hate. I
Please,
don't hate. I don't hate the colors.
I,
On that note, I'll be right back.
so no, I will probably say the neon colors are a little bit.
No, I feel like every color has its place.
I
I
don't
don't really have a
mind
problem with
them,
colors.
but I think if I had to choose, I think the neon ones would be more annoying. I love every color. I really do.
I like neon signs if they're used in an area that makes it like in a aesthetic that makes sense. I feel like there's no real bad color, honestly.
I really love when colors complement each other.
Yeah, but it's subjective to an extent as well.
Like everybody, there's a lot of people that don't like the Denver Broncos uniforms. I fucking absolutely love them fucking uniforms. I love the combination of the color.
It's orange and blue, so you love Blippi too.
But it's so good. I actually like.
I have no answer for you, Connor.
I'm a
What's my answer?
Packer fan. Anything
Okay.
with yellow to me, I actually like. So Minnesota and Green Bay, I love their colors.
My last question, because I'm deteriorating a lot at a faster rate now. It's going downhill fast.
Okay.
What's the most useless word?
Yuns? I don't know. I
What?
can't. Yuns? Yuns gonna go to bed?
What? Is that even
It's
a
just
word?
a term. It's a term my grandmother used to use.
It's not an actual word.
Yeah,
What
it's
Young's
not a
talking
word.
about now?
Youngins. You know, you all. So she would
I'm gonna
say
go with
young.
glizzy.
Yes.
'Cause I don't know if it's a hot dog or a dick, and I don't care.
It's a glizzy.
Exactly.
Burn the hot dog.
Exactly.
Riz.
Riz is bad. It's like, how can we make charisma sound worse? Riz! He's got Riz. Nobody uses it correctly anyway. It's like, I honestly feel like people are fucking getting idiotic. I mean, I'm an old man now, so I can say that.
I don't think pink's an annoying color. You can use pink.
Okay,
Pink's.
we moved on.
He's answering Alpha in
I'm
the chat.
answering alpha. What did you say?
Two in the pink, baby.
I
I don't know what I said.
don't-
Oh, I
What was
said
it?
fucking glizzy, which shouldn't even.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even think
What's
it's
the
not a
usual
word.
word?
I don't think.
What's the most hated food?
No.
Oh my God.
What is the most useless
Active
word?
listening.
Most useless.
Would you
word.
ever use glizzy in your life? Ever?
No, not unless it was somebody I knew or
There you
it was
go.
a nickname for somebody.
Or the name of that place in fucking like Sweden or wherever it is. It's like,
Oh
You
god,
guys
it's
know what I'm talking
What was
no, that's kind of what it sounds like, though. Listen to like a newscaster be like, "Oh, the weather's pretty good," and and that's how he sounded like.
I have no idea about that, but yeah, I really the most useless word. I can't think of a useless word. I think a useless person is Tony Khan.
That's
Can I use that as a word?
con.
I really can't think of a word that I think is useless.
Just think of any slang word
I
that
think, like I
that
said,
literally
it's
has
that
another reason for it.
So I would say any word that is slang for another word. I don't get.
I mean, some
like-
slang I get if it's shortening a term that's really long.
So when I say get out of my business, that means I just get out of my business. But that's me just being funny.
But I mean, like someone says LOL, laughing
That's
out loud,
probably
that makes
annoying.
sense to me. An acronym that makes
You see,
sense. Glizzy? What does that have to do with hot dogs or
yeah,
dicks?
So I can't think besides the, and I agree with Basement. I can't think of a word right now that, like, what is a word out there that has no meaning to anything that you're.
Well, I mean, the meanings of words have changed. Queen means any woman ever. That someone's like, yes, queen.
Well, she used to say that all the time,
As a joke.
and I get it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
And
that's what
slay went from people killing each other or a actual slay to someone that is doing well in
Dressing,
whatever they're doing,
honestly,
but mostly
you keep
dressing.
slaying. Oh yeah, well, that annoys the shit out of me. Those
Oh, you're
words
killing
are there.
it.
The context
Anything
of
that
the-
a young person would say, I pretty much hate.
Even
So,
if they say hello, sir.
yeah, well, you know what? No. Say HO, dog.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Shoot me in the head.
All right. On that note,
Come on, ho dog.
what?
What's your most hated? You never answered any of the questions, Connor.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
you did.
No, he didn't.
So what say you, Connor?
Well, he did say Riz, actually. So he did answer this one.
He
Yeah.
did.
That's a terrible, terrible fucking thing.
Sure is.
What's up, Federico?
I didn't know what it was for the longest time. I mean, it's
Oh,
getting
I had to
bad.
Google
Where,
it.
yeah, that you know,
What's that?
that's when you know you're fucked. When you have to Google terms that young people use
Yeah.
to be like,
Yep.
I'm
I
able to
still do. I
understand
do
these
it.
kids.
I
I think we
I
all do it,
sometimes-
to be honest. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
sometimes Google terms that you guys fucking say because I don't know what the fuck that means.
All right. I got one more I'll throw out here.
Okay.
What superhero or supervillain would make the best therapist?
superhero
Professor
or
X,
villain?
he can read your fucking mind. So you
So
didn't even need to talk to him. You know, walk in and be like, "This is what you need to do. Get out."
So what superhero
You're
or
not
villain
paying
would be
shit.
one
Okay,
best
you ain't paying
therapist?
shit for this therapist session. It's gonna take 1 second for this guy to be
think-
like, "This is what's wrong with you."
Yeah, we can do it
I'm
remotely.
going to go with Gene Hackman's version of Lex Luthor. I
You
felt
want
like
Lex
I could
Luthor?
tell him something and he wouldn't be an asshole about it. But he is an asshole.
I was gonna say, but Lex Luthor is an asshole.
Right, but he wouldn't
Just
come
throws
on. Lex
kryptonite
Luthor-
at you.
The Superman, he was such a sinister type villain. Like, he wasn't an asshole, but he was. He's really good.
I feel like
So I'll go with Lex Luthor, that version of Lex
I actually
Luthor.
feel like it's weird to say,
That's
but
right.
I think Deadpool would be a pretty good therapist because he's just
You
gonna tell you
fucking read my mind.
straight up, "This is what you're doing wrong," and fuck you and get out.
You read my fucking mind.
It's almost
That's
like
what it
I
is.
am Professor X.
I would actually go with Vision.
He's a robot.
Exactly.
So of course he understands human emotions.
No, but he would know how to remedy what you're going through.
He would know how to tell you what's wrong with you.
I don't think he could ever like fully relate to human beings.
He fully related to Wanda.
Well, he just
the only
had
thing
sex
is, you'd have to get the you'd have to get the model from 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Professor X, guys, unless shut up, Connor.
Because that way you get 20/20 vision.
I don't disagree with
I
you.
knew he was gonna go with something that I hated, and here we are.
What did he say?
You have to go with the model from 4 years ago because then you get 20/20 vision.
I'm still gonna go with.
I don't understand your choice at all. Professor X is the obvious choice unless the place has stairs.
No, and I don't disagree with your choice. I think that is one of the characters that could be.
Deadpool's a solid choice because he's gonna just tell you how it is.
Well,
Yep.
It's either that or Wolverine for me.
I feel like Wolverine would be too involved with himself.
Well,
Who am I? Gene! I think Wolverine needs to be in therapy. I'd be his therapist, for fuck's sake.
Wolverine is fucking Stewart. Look what I can do.
Takes his blades out, starts chopping his dick off.
So yeah.
What comics are you reading?
Yeah, the best ones.
Bite me is all I can come up with words, a useless word. That's not one word, that's two. So which
Close
one is it?
enough.
Bite or me?
I don't know, but on that note, I do have to hop off
Okay.
for the morning. But you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you
too,
tomorrow.
man.
Yep, night.
Night. So San Francisco, we didn't. Kansas City beat San Francisco 25-22 tonight. So all those that you were hoping for San Francisco, I told you I would laugh in your face.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the ha 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 ha.
I told you all.
Go talk to
Now.
Professor X about it.
Now try to tell me, you have a great team, but you better fucking do something now. Because if you don't, you're in trouble.
I had faith in Taylor Swift, and I predicted the winners correctly.
Did you? I think you did.
She did.
Yeah.
I think you all did.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all did. I think if I remember it.
I think I was the only person that went with Taylor Swift. You guys trying to bandwagon on the Swift train?
I don't know. I'd have to go back. I forgot.
Heather definitely went with the Ravens.
49ers did not let you down. Patrick Mahomes let you down because I don't think he was getting stopped. I don't think Patrick Mahomes was going to lose that game. You should go back and watch it. There's nothing that San Francisco could do. And it wasn't that San Francisco didn't try. Mahomes just was that much better tonight.
You want to go let Mo back inside?
Yes, I can go let Mo back inside. I'll be back.
It's alright. We don't really have much to talk about now. So, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to dust off or you want to end it here.
No, we can end it here.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good place to end it. We'll be back with more Tiny Tina's Wonderland on Wednesday and Friday with HUGM, the fallout from Wrestle Kingdom. And of course, no books given. We will get back into Star Wars. We just have to kind of agree on a time and date.
Yeah.
And that's just where we are. But thanks to everybody for hanging out in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, Connor, for joining in. And then I'm actually, I know he didn't say much, but I'm really grateful he joined in because he was iffy for a while there. So hopefully he's doing all right. Anyways, guys, peace out. Happy Super Bowl. Love you all. Boy.
Good night, fuckers.